Hello, everyone. I think I want to start my own little book club. For a while now, I have been reading A People's History of the United States from 1492 to the present by Howard Zinn. And I have a couple other books I'm interested in reading next after that. I've been interested in United States history for a while now. I used to focus primarily on World War II for a variety of reasons, mostly of Europe and stuff, and unfortunately not of the Middle East and Africa and whatnot. But I am also, after I finish this book, want to read How to Hide an Empire, A History of the Greater United States by Daniel Immerwahr. This will give me a little understanding of USA history in the global sense. I also have some other books about Latin America that I'll be getting on with. However, after I read those, I want to read Right Wing Women. I have problems with R's and W's. Right Wing Women by Andrea Dworkin. The W in the Dworkin gets me. Plus, it's got an R in it. Girl, your name. And I have a hard to pronounce name, but that one gets me every time, so I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name again. I've always liked to own or read questionable, or what is it? What is the proper word? It's not questionable. Things that rile people up. I like to read those books and those people I really want to read about. And then, of course, I've read some questionable stuff. Like Game of Thrones. Like, man, there's some dark stuff. Even Darren Shan's, like, Demonata, like, bro, come on. It's more than just like horror at that point. And like opening it up like that, like, come on, bro. And Stephen King, come on. Oh, and not only that, Darren Shan is like all Stephen King, and I'm like, I read it in 8th grade. I grew up in a Grace Baptist church. I was. And then Anne Rice, like, come on, girl. Lestat is like sucking the tissues and blood out of a sanitary napkin after he comes out of his like hell coma. Like, what's going on there? I didn't have anyone to instruct me or warn me or anything like that. So I read some very egregious material, very adult material when I'm like in junior high and stuff, and like even adults have issues reading this stuff because either they didn't understand or have the comprehension, or were like, it's demon prophecy stuff. Because I remember my first stepmother telling me I couldn't read The Witching Hour because it had witch in the title, which it was about witches. But like, because of the title, I wasn't allowed to read it or something. But all I did was rip off the cover of the book and take it to the Goodwill checkout. Got you. I didn't really like my stepmom. That one, at least. I don't like the other one either. But books. I like books. I read a lot of, or did read a lot of sci-fi. Like I read all the Foundation novels except for Prelude to Foundation, and like I thought Harry Seldon was kind of like pretentious and full of it. I didn't like him at all. And Arthur, like all my favorite authors, like I find out, like I know I gotta like separate the author from the art or whatever, but like all my favorite authors are like scumbags. I don't like it. Arthur C. Clarke, he moved to like, what is it, Sri Lanka, so he could like be mean to kids. And then Isaac Asimov, like, bro was very womanizing. And I think a lot of male authors were like that. And it really bugs me because I love their work. And then I like think about it and then I'm like, did I really love it? Or was I told by society to love it because I'm told that it's some great, like, classic, like they're classics in the sci-fi genre, and I'm like, ugh. And I do know there are some good women sci-fi authors out there. I know there are good women authors out there. I am not one of them, unfortunately. However, I will keep reading. And maybe I'll babble on about books again some other time.